Hello, it's me again. Today I want to share with you my story, the reason why I collect DVDs. The truth is, there are so many people asking me about the reason, my personal reason. Why do you keep buying movies? Why do you keep buying the DVDs while you can easily stream the movies? Online streaming nowadays, it's so easy. Even with YouTube, you have so many choices with Netflix, with Hulu, with many other different streaming services, not to mention the illegal ones. You can easily watch all movies, those many movies, without the burden of having to, put effort in buying those movies in stores and then cataloging and then designing a room specially for your collection, and it takes a lot of space. So I kind of feel tired of explaining this to a lot of people, so I kind of decided to, why don't I just make a video about this, so whenever people want to ask the reason, they could just easily watch this video. So this is it. I want to explain the reason why I collect DVDs. It's crazy that we've come to a time where we need to explain to people why we do this, why we purchase DVDs, why we purchase books, why we purchase a CD or vinyl. It's crazy because let's say 10 or 15 years ago, nobody would ask you that, because that's pretty a normal thing to do. You just, if you want to watch a movie, you just buy the DVD or rent the DVD. But now if you go to a movie store, me personally, I feel like an oddball. Someone who's not really sane, because why bother buying this stuff? So okay, I think I need to explain that, and before that, I need to, I think, explain the history of home video, basically, especially in my region, in my country. So I think that is important to understand my reason. So in America and in UK, in most parts of the world, in the early 90s, VHS was so popular there, but VHS was not very popular in my country. The popular format was a video CD. It was developed in I think it's at the same time as a CD, because a video CD is basically a CD, but they released the standard for the very first time in 1993. So when Americans, they were very hyped by VHS, they're still very much in love with VHS. It's before DVD. The people in my country, they were crazy about this video CD, and it's a very great moment, because again, the same thing with VHS. It was the very first time people could really enjoy watching movies, like ultimately all movies that they want to watch, and but of course not like VHS. It does not have the capability to record videos or movies from your TV, directly from the TV. No, but the capability of watching movies, that's also that's basically the same as VHS, and that's what made people really fall in love with this format. And with computers, they could play the movies in computers. That's also very great. I've seen some videos or some discussions. I've read some discussions of people who were discussing about video CDs when they already got DVD. So they argue that video CD was awful in terms of picture quality, but at the time it was very great to be able to play movies on your computer, because it's going to be quite difficult to do that with VHS, especially in in my country, and if you do not have special equipment, that's going to be very difficult, because essentially most manufacturers, computer manufacturers at the time in the 90s, we're not talking about the 80s, the 90s, the mid to the late 90s, and even the early 2000s, they were focusing on a CD, CD-ROM. So because video CD is basically CD but with videos, so that's going to be not very difficult to develop programs or software that could support this format. And so it's very great, especially before DVD came and people couldn't play DVDs with their computers. In the beginning, most computers, they're equipped only with CD-ROM. Even in my country, maybe not in the US, but in my country, in the early till the mid 2000s, they were still releasing computers, CPUs with CD-ROMs instead of DVD-ROMs. And it's very difficult, when we talk about home videos and talk about these different formats, because essentially a lot of you perhaps do not really know the ubiquity of video CDs, how big video CD impacted the society back then. But if you imagine this, or just imagine this this example, like just think of video CD like VHS in the US. But again, that's going to be very difficult, because VHS, it allows you to record anything. It's not like that with video CD. So I don't know how to let you know exactly how it was. But then again, not so many people, again, in my country, got a video recorder. Most of us, they only got camera, only able to take pictures, not videos. It was a luxury, at the time. If you got a video camera with tape that could record videos. So, video CD is basically mostly only for movies and for karaoke. And it's cheap, and it's basically the same as CD. If you got a CD player, they mostly be able to play video CDs. So video CD was everywhere. So it's a VHS of my country. It's a DVD of my country. I don't know. It's very popular, even way more popular than DVD. So when we talk about it through the history perspective, when I go to a store nowadays, and I remember back then and today, people like judging me, like, oh, this is an oddball, why he's keep buying this stuff. And I feel like a little bit insecure when I go to a movie store, because it seems like everybody's watching, like, oh, because the video store is inside a shopping mall, and there are people roaming around that mall, and then I go inside the video store, and people like, oh, I don't know whether that's true or not, but I feel that kind of feeling, that's insecurity in a DVD store and in a bookstore. Like, really, it was crazy. Something that's very normal, something that's very usual, like 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, now is something that it's ridiculous. It's an oddball thing to do. I mean, that's crazy. But that's the point, about this one. Why I collect movies is because of the history. So, because I started like a long time ago. I remember vividly, in the late 90s, it was the release of Disney's Tarzan, and my parents brought these video CDs of Tarzan and Disney's Dinosaur, and then some documentaries. And I remember playing those movies on computer, on Windows 95. That was very exciting. And I didn't think of it as something that's collectible, as something that, oh, I want to be a collector. I want to collect these things. These things are cool. No, it's not like that. It wasn't like that for everybody. It was just the way people watch movies. If you want to watch movies, it's you either purchase the video CD or you borrow the video CD on video rentals. That's just the way. That's the normal way. It's like, say, 100 years ago, if you want to get information, you purchase a newspaper. That's it. That's the normal thing to do. We certainly didn't didn't think of it as being something very special, like, oh, we didn't consider ourselves as collectors. I certainly did not, because this is a normal thing to do. All of us did that at the time. Like, when you purchase a video CD, people would know automatically that, oh, you want to watch movies, so you go buy the video CDs. Oh, you want to read a novel, so you go to the bookstore, and so on. But today, it's just like, I don't know, something ridiculous if you're still doing that. It's like a cult, people might say it that way. But back then, it wasn't like that. So initially, the reason why I purchased movies was because that's the way we watch movies. That's the option. You know, the only option of for us to watch movies is to get the physical copy of the movie. So then DVD came. That started to be the time for me to have this collector's mind in my brain. Like, I felt the need to upgrade everything that I own on video CD. It was very late. I only migrated to DVD like in 2011 or something. It was very late, and I consider myself as a true collector. Started in 2011. Before that, I won't consider myself as a collector, no, but in 2011 I did consider myself as a collector, because that was the very first moment I'm being very serious about collecting movies, like really serious. The first time I watched DVD was a long time ago, in the early or mid 2000s, and I knew the difference of DVD and video CD. But at the time, the difference was not really that big of a deal, because the design is basically the same. So it's not like people in the US from VHS to DVD. That's so huge. The difference was just so huge. But from video CD to DVD, apart from the picture quality, that's not such a big deal, And the price was twice or three times more expensive than regular video CDs. That's crazy. And when you watch the video CDs with a small screen from a CRT television, 21-inch or 18-inch or lower, the picture quality looks amazingly good and enough for video CD. We didn't really need DVDs to enjoy that. And of course, it is based on CD, so it's optical media is basically the same. The design for the player, basically the same. The design for the disc is basically the same, and all. And the one of the most important things is that video CDs in my country, they always got the Indonesian subtitle in it. And the DVD not always. And because the DVD, there's this regulation. The distributors, they must import the movies from China. So that's going to make, of course, the price much more expensive than video CDs, because they were allowed to manufacture video CDs by themselves, so they could add some promotions, some trailers. So sometimes, most of the times, the trailers, the promotions, the opening scenes or sequences on video CDs, they're different from the DVD counterparts. That's it. But in 2011, I decided this is it. I'm not going to buy any more video CDs, because DVD is certainly much better. And I was very late to the Blu-ray shenanigans. I knew the Blu-ray quality. I knew how good it was. But then again, the price for Blu-ray was like 3 to 4 times much more expensive than standard DVDs, and imagine how many times it's more expensive over a video CD. So even at that time, they still manufactured video CDs, but then the majority of us started to convert ourselves to DVDs and started to ditch video CDs. And that's when I consider myself as purely a collector, because I already got many of those movies on video CDs, but I still purchased the DVDs because I thought, oh, the picture quality is so much better, and but the most important thing was the special features on DVDs, that normally not included on video CDs, or even if they're included on the video CDs, the portion of the special features, they were very, very limited, very, very small compared to the DVD counterpart. So I decided to upgrade everything, like nearly everything that I own, to DVD. And then in 2014, I bought my very first Blu-ray player. That's very, very late, I know. But even then, the majority of the people in my country, they didn't know what a Blu-ray is. And they downloaded movies on Blu-ray all the time. They said that it's Blu-ray quality, it's Blu-ray rip or anything, but they did not know the quality of the actual Blu-ray. So when I checked, basically most of them, the DVD quality, they didn't even know that those movies, they're on DVD quality and there's something better than what they're downloading. But that was the time. So in the beginning, it was purely the way people watch movies, so I didn't really consider myself as a collector. But then in 2011, I started to consider myself as a collector, because it was the moment when people like not really purchase movies for the way to watch movies, because at the time the streaming services already popping out. So, and not so many people buy movies anymore, and so fine, I'm going to consider myself as a collector, and I purchase many movies for sentimental values. So I think that's the reason why collectors collect stuff. They're very sentimental about the object that they purchase. So the first thing is not a collector, and then I became a collector, upgrading and all the stuff, you know. And then in 20 I don't know, 2016 or somewhere, I started to realize that I do not really need to keep upgrading my stuff, you know. Even the movies that I already got on video CDs, I don't really need to upgrade them to DVDs, and I don't need to upgrade the DVDs to Blu-ray. I started to develop this, this way of thinking, of seeing things that, I don't know, I do not really care about the picture quality anymore, as long as it is consistent. I mean, the picture quality on video CD, it's not really good, but it is consistent from the beginning till the end. It's consistent, it's going to stay that way, and there are many ways to enhance that quality, which is to watch the movie on a standard DVD player and on a standard CRT television. That's going to give you the best possible way to enjoy the video CDs. And to be honest with it, the picture quality was not that bad when you watch the video CD with proper equipment. The same thing as VHS. Today people say, oh, VHS was awful. But then people started to realize it's not that bad. Like videotape, it's not that bad if you got the proper equipment. So when I watch video CDs, I never watch the video CDs with a Blu-ray player and with HDMI. That's going to destroy the picture quality. I always watch them with that yellow, red and white cable. Is that a composite cable? I don't really know the exact name of that cable. But that cable, the analog one, instead of using the HDMI. And so I started to develop this sense of archiving. So I told myself that I'm not going to buy movies for the sake of collecting. I do not want to consider myself as a collector anymore. I want to consider myself as an archivist. I'm building an archive, you know, because at the time also I was very active in writing columns, articles in my blog at the time. I talked about movies. I talked about things in related to movies, like for example, top 10 authors whose movies became so popular and successful, and I need those movies on DVD so that I could watch the behind the scene and all, to get insights, so that I can write easily and much better article. And I decided to I need to own every great movie, you know, that people consider as great movies, like, you know, you name it, Gone with the Wind, Jurassic Park, and what else, E.T. I don't really like E.T., but because a lot of people like it, and I I gotta admit that this is an objectively great movie, so I need to have the movie also. And then Marvel's movies, I like the first Avenger, the 2012 movie Avengers, but I kind of hate the Endgame, the final one. They started to, I don't know, they're too much and all, and I even dislike Age of Ultron. But because those movies are very, very popular and those movies are very, very influential, I decided to still, I need to own that movies because that movie is very, very important for the history of cinema. It's very important for people like me. So again, that's strengthening my idea of building an archive instead of a collection. So I do not buy movies for the sake of sentimental values anymore. I decided to purchase movies because I need to have this movie because I need to preserve these movies. And as a matter of fact, many of the video CDs or VCDs, they're like VHS. As you know, not every film that's ever released on VHS got a DVD release, let alone a Blu-ray release. The same thing happened with video CD in my country. Not every movie that's ever released on video CD eventually got a DVD release, especially Indonesian movies, old Indonesian movies from the 60s, 70s, and then 80s, and even the 90s. And video CD became so prominent in keeping those movies alive, and because not all of the movies they're A-listed movies, most of them they're these bad low-budget movies, and nobody really care about that. If we, people who collect movies or who archive, do not care about this, those movies could be lost forever. That is very dangerous, I think, to me. So that is the practical reason, I think, for me to purchase movies even today. So I still purchase a lot of video CDs now. That's defying my own oath back in 2011 that I would not purchase any more video CDs because the quality is awful. But then I realized that not all movies are available on DVDs or Blu-ray. So I still need the video CDs. And there are issues also with the DVDs that the manufacturers in my country, they could not manufacture good, decent DVDs and Blu-rays. Their DVDs and Blu-rays, they're crap. The quality is just awful. So the example is this movie, this Adventures of Tintin that I purchased in 2011. They released the Adventures of Tintin, the package, the series, all 21 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, on a single box set of DVDs. And I've contacted, or I had a discussion with collectors because I once joined a movie collector group. And most of them complaining about the quality of the disc. The DVDs, they're defective. Many of those DVDs, they're rotting already after just like 2 years because it was released in 2012. But the distributor also released Tintin on video CDs. But instead of in a single box set, they released the video CD separately. So that was very difficult. That's such a pain to collect all the 21 episodes of Tintin. I haven't even got all of the episodes. I missed 3 or 4 episodes because it's very difficult to find all of them because they're scattered all over the place. But the disc quality of the video CD is just amazingly better than the DVD. So then I decided to, for the purpose of archiving, it is better to own the video CD version of the movie instead of the DVD version. And that is less convenient, of course. But then again, when we want to archive something, this is the way. And you might ask me, about Tintin. That there's so many people having that video of Tintin. Even on YouTube, you can find every episode of Tintin easily. And I say, yes, of course, but they're all in English. None of them are in Indonesian. Even the early releases of Tintin in my country, they're all in English with Indonesian subtitle. Only in 2012 that they dubbed the movie with Indonesian language, then they sold the movie in Indonesian instead of in English, the language selection. And so, I couldn't find that everywhere online, so I purchased that and then I uploaded that on YouTube, because not so many people can enjoy this in Indonesian. The reason why I uploaded that on YouTube is because I'm the only one who got that and released that on publicly. And of course, it's claimed by the studio. I wasn't trying to pirate anything. I would not try to claim those movies as mine. I know that these are not mine, but I just want to show the world that there's this Indonesian version of this movie. As a matter of fact, it's very important because I released just a fragment of Disney movies, of Snow White and of Bambi and of Pinocchio and Peter Pan, that in Indonesian. And so many YouTubers out there, they made compilations of Disney movies from different languages, and they do not have that on Indonesian version. And some of them asked me on the comment sections about this. Could you please send the Indonesian language for me? I assume that because they do not have that. And it was very rare. It was very difficult to find that movies. I admit that. So I think this is very important. That's the point of archiving, But then again, those movies that I uploaded on YouTube, the Tintin videos, they're very relying on me. What if I decided to delete all of those movies? What if the studio decided to take down all of the videos? What if? So there's so many things with online and stuff. That's the feeling of insecurity and the feeling of the availability, that you can't really know for sure about the future, whether the films will stay there or not. And that's very contradictory to the idea of archiving. If you want to build an archive, you want to make sure that the movies will remain there in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years from now. And the reason why I stick to video CDs and all is because they generally last longer than flash drives, than hard drives. So, as a matter of fact, the oldest disc that I have is from 1994. It's a CD, and I tried to upload that on YouTube, playing an old CD from 94 in a brand new Blu-ray player at the time, 2018. But then some folks from YouTube claim that, even though it's just like a piece of it, just couples of seconds of me proving that this disc still plays, so I decided to just delete that video. So that's it about the reason why sticking on disc, because that's the only way so far to make sure that you have total control of your stuff that you purchase. And it's going to arguably last longer than any of the options today. That's first. Availability and longevity, that's first. Even with the digital, and if you download those movies and you save them on a flash drive and save that on hard drives, if it fails, then you lost everything. And I'm that type of person who I do not really like to put movies on my computers. I do not want my computers to be bloated by movies. I use my computers for documents and maybe videos, YouTube videos and music, but not for movies. I try not to add anything to my movies. Even if I downloaded a movie, I'm going to copy that movie on DVD and then delete the file on my computer. That's a first of archiving. What's that? Availability and longevity, and then after that is changes in streaming services. There's so many people talking about this online, that when you watch a movie, the studio has the total control of it. They could change the movie without any notice, So you want to watch a movie, then you do not have the DVD. You watch the movie today, you don't have on DVD. You watch it and then you like it, and then 5 years from now you want to watch that same movie again. and there's the streaming service that's available there, and then you watch the film there, and you realize that the movie is different. They are changes in the movie that you do not really understand what happened there. Where's the song that I used to hear in this movie like 5 years ago? And there's the scene. Where's that scene? It's gone. What happened? There are so many versions of a movie. There could be so many versions of a movie, even as simple as an addition in title. For example, in Beauty and the Beast, there's this very simple addition on the title. It's the words "the special edition of." The special edition of Beauty and the Beast. They added that title, the special edition of. That's also very crucial, if you want to talk about movies seriously. And then in The Lion King, they added the song Morning Report. But then they decided to delete that again. You won't even know if it's not because of the DVD, because I happened to got the special edition DVD and then the Diamond Edition DVD. So I realized they changed these things. And if you do not know, it's going to be quite dangerous, especially if you want to. If you're serious people about movies, or if you want to make an analysis, or if you want to make a thesis, or I don't know, research based on the movies, you need to know for sure which version of it. Like, for example, if you want to research The Lion King, and then there's this addition of a musical in that movie, but then the streaming service only got the what is that? I don't know, the newer version, the Diamond Edition. People will be confused when you talk about this. This is the Morning Report music song added in The Lion King, but your audience, they might not know about that. So it's also quite dangerous, and I've seen that on a video like CinemaSins, when they released this video of King Kong. I don't know about others, I only noticed this on King Kong, that there's this scene that's so unfamiliar for me. I've seen King Kong like many times. It's one of my favorite movies at the time when it was new. So I purchased the video CDs, and I realized, oh, this is not in the movie. What are they talking about? Why would they add this scene? Is it the deleted scenes or anything? Turns out I was not the only one. I read the comments, and they said, oh, where's this part of the movie? I didn't notice that in the movie. Where did you get this one? Turns out it's from the extended edition. It's like, oh, okay, it's from the extended edition. But what if the extended edition is not available online? They only gave you the theatrical version of the movie. What if that happened? What if you couldn't access the exact version that you want? How would you face that problem, if that is a problem for you? Or, for example, the Lord of the Rings. I didn't know that there is this extended edition of the Lord of the Rings. All I know is the theatrical version of it. Then, again, it's very important for some people like me, people like you, because you're watching these videos. So I assume that we're on the same boat, basically. So I'm preaching to the choir, basically. It's very important for certain people, of course, and for analyzing stuff. This is very serious, When you analyze something, when you're writing a thesis about a movie, and then you add a dialogue in your descriptions, in your discussions, and then you added the source. The source is from this movie. It's in the which section of the movie, and started from which point, from in which part, like in which minutes that it happens, maybe in the 18th minutes or 20th minutes. But if there's an extended edition of the video, people who I don't know, who read your analysis, and they try to check the validity of your analysis, they and then they have a different version of the movie, and then they decided, oh, you're doing it wrong because in the 18th minute, this is not what you claim. It's different. And then again with different picture or color system with PAL and NTSC, it's going to be even much worse if you do not know exactly which version that you're watching. And that's why a lot of professors, they still insist that you purchase the DVD instead of just download it online, because you know for sure which edition it is and then what color system that it has. Because if you watch a movie in a PAL, from the PAL region, and then you watch it, and then the film might be, I don't know whether it be shorter or longer in a matter of minutes. But then if it's a different edition, that could make the problem even worse. So when people read your thesis and then they realize, oh, this person purchased the DVD and the DVD is the special edition, and my version of the movie is from the Netflix, for example, and Netflix has a different version. Oh, I understand now why this person writes this dialogue on the thesis, and he said that it's on the 20th minutes, but it's not on the 20th minutes in the Netflix version. It's on the 25th minutes, for example, because yeah, the color system might affect the duration, the running time of the movie, but then different editions could do that too. Sometimes different versions added an introduction from someone important. For example, in the video CD of Fantasia 2000s, there's this introductional scene by Roy Disney, and it is embedded in the movie, so it's one long thread. It's not a different chapter. It's not a chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. The whole movie is sewn with this introduction by Roy Disney in the beginning. So, according to this video CD, that scene with Roy Disney is one. It belongs to the movie. It's part of the movie. But in the newer version, in the special edition release in 2010 or 11. There's no more of that scene. The scene is gone. So again, it's very important to know which edition it is and which color system and all. That's why I still also keep buying physical media, keep buying video CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray even today. And then changes again, still with changes with political situations nowadays, political agenda. I've read articles, and I've seen a lot of videos. Conservative versus liberals, they have different opinions about this and that. And there's this fear among moviegoers that studios would change the movies for the sake of political correctness and all. That's also very dangerous, changing the movie for this or that. Learning from Star Wars, the director changed a lot of things from it. Learning from, I don't know, any other movies that has such a big impact for that, because most of the time I watch movies on physical media, but people who watch them also online streaming, many of them reported that the studio made changes in the movie, and then the music, they also changed the music because of a copyright overdue or something. They changed that. But with DVD, once you purchase that movie, if the disc is manufactured perfectly and properly, and you take good care of it, it's going to stay there. It's going to be yours forever. There's no such thing as taking down or changing your DVD, the content of your DVD. So that's very, very great. And for archival purpose, that is the best way to do that. To archive stuff, that is the best way. There's no other way to do that. That's the second one. And then the third one, and the last one, I think, is the availability. Availability of titles nowadays. I'm so confused about people when they prefer one format over the other, like when they go streaming and then they ditch DVD, like 100%, like they just completely ditch the DVD. And then there's also people who just so in love with DVDs they ditch the digital completely. Like nowadays you need to embrace both. I think you need to wake up and realize that today is really the blessing for us, because we have the freedom of choice. We can choose which one that we prefer based on the situation, the circumstances that we're at in the current time. Like if you want to go to a concert and then you want to, it's your favorite band, your favorite singer, you're going to go back home and got something from the concert, and it's going to be the CD, the album of the singer. What's the point of downloading all the audio and then you go to the Madison Square Garden and then there's this Gloria Estefan playing this song, and then you went back home and nothing. There's nothing special. It's the only way is to purchase that CD that's available in that particular place and then got it autographed, signed by the singer. That's going to be very, very amazing. And if you like a movie, like for example, you're a Harry Potter fan, you really like Harry Potter, and then you purchase all the books and all the memorabilia of Harry Potter. And I do think that you got to purchase all of Harry Potter movies instead of downloading those movies. You might be not a collector not a film collector. You never purchase a DVD in your entire life. You always watch your favorite movies on streaming services, but then you're a Harry Potter fan, you're a Harry Potter collector. You need to purchase that Harry Potter DVD. You won't purchase any kind of movies, any other movies than Harry Potter, but you're going to buy Harry Potter, of course. That's it. It's still depending on circumstances and who you are and what you want to do, what you want for this very moment. Even if you're not a DVD collector, you're still going to need a DVD if you're a Harry Potter fan and you want to collect everything related to Harry Potter. That's it. And so availability, why you purchase those things. Ownership, you wish that you got once you purchase that, it's going to be yours forever, of course. Availability, and not every movies are available on streaming, but we've come at the time where not every movies are out on DVD. There's so many movies available only on streaming services, especially those indie movies and those series. They won't release them on DVD if there's not that much of a demand in the society. So today we can't really ditch one for the other. We really need both, and not every movie, as I said before, not every movies are available on streaming services, but at the same time, not every movies are on streaming services are available on DVD. So we really need both. But availability is a very, very big problem with streaming services nowadays. Because with the DVD, if it is not there, if it is out of print, you know that it is not there. You know that it is not out of print. But with streaming services, it's like a fake, what's that? Fake stability. It's like a fake promise. You think that once a movie is there on Netflix, it's going to be there forever, but that is not the case. And I didn't really believe in this until very recently. That, so many people, when they really talk about DVD, DVD is great, DVD is amazing, Blu-ray, physical media all the way, I would not go to a streaming service. I was like, oh my god, no, you don't say that. You still need streaming services. Not every movie you really need to own, especially if you're, if you're a collector you just based on your, sentimentality. Why? You just got to buy, you just stream the movie if it's going to be there, And at the time, I was also battling with a distributor that produced crappy discs, and I say that streaming services last longer than the DVD. I lost thousands and thousands of dollars because of this manufacturer. They just manufactured bad discs. Their DVDs just awful. Their video CD is great, but their DVD is just awful. But then, I was searching for a particular movie for a very, and I mean very long time. It's a movie of my childhood that I saw the poster on a video store in 2002. It's just a great moment, and it's a very, very special movie for me. I do not have it on DVD. I don't have it on physical media, because I tend to call all kinds of physical media of optical disc as basically DVD, even it's Blu-ray. So I tried to find that movie in everywhere, in this store, online store. Well, there's an online store, but I wasn't really sure about that, and the addition of it. I wasn't really sure about that. And so I went to online. I went to my computer and tried to search that movie in any streaming services. And then I found it. I found that particular movie on one streaming service, and then I was very happy. It was I don't know, at 7 p.m. I found that, and then I got things to do, and then I decided I'm going to watch this tomorrow, just tomorrow, not now. I'm glad I found it, and I'm going to watch it tomorrow. But then the next day, it wasn't even like the next day, like in the afternoon. No, it was in 5 or 6 a.m. I just happened to woke up, and then I opened my computer and I checked that again, and it's gone. The movie is not there anymore. It was just, it hit me like I don't know, it was crazy, It was just there, like couples of hours ago. It was there. Now it's gone. I was like, oh, now I understand. Now I realize what they've been talking about. This is a big issue, especially if you consider yourself as an archivist. You need to have that particular movie at your fingertips at any time, when you need it. It's not really reliable. You can't really rely yourself on the streaming service. That's when I realized that. What if it happened to other movies? What if I wanted to review a movie, and I decided to hold the writing process for today, and I'm going to continue tomorrow, but the next day I couldn't find that particular movie anywhere. And that's going to be, oh no. And the illegal sites also, also experience the same thing. One day it's there, the next day it's not there anymore. Sometimes it's not about availability, that, you just wait, they will come again in 2 or 3 days, or in a different streaming service, you're going to find that again. No, it's not that. What if I really need that film now? That's also an issue, It's not about the moment when or where. I want it now. I want it immediately, right now. So how can I, rely on that, So that is basically the reason why I still purchase movies also. But of course, there's still the sentimental values. I still have that. Especially when movies that I purchase more than once. So basically, if I purchase the movie on different formats with different covers, now that's when my collector's soul is appearing before you. But when I just purchase the movie for the sake of the movie, then that's me archiving, with movies like Disney movies and with Titanic. I purchased those movies on different formats, on different editions. So let's say The Lion King, I got the special edition, and then I got the Diamond edition. And with all the Disney movies, I got a lot more versions. And with Titanic, I got the deluxe edition, I got the deluxe signature, the ultimate edition, the 15th anniversary edition, the Blu-ray, all different kinds of Titanic. That's me collecting. That's my collector's soul popping out before you. But when I purchased the movies, just that one movie, like Gone with the Wind, I only got one copy of Gone with the Wind. I think that's enough for me, because I got the movie. I feel safe. I feel like, okay, I have saved the movie in my in my vault, let's say. So I can access that movie anywhere, anytime. And when people say that DVD is not convenient because you can't, watch all of your movies on the go, well, maybe that's a problem for people who like to watch movies when they're on the trip. I'm not that kind of person. I do not like to watch movies when I was traveling anywhere, train, plane, cars. I do not like to watch movies there. I like to listen to music. That's why I rip all my CDs into digital, and I'm very relying on digital music, but not with movies, because I do not like to watch movies and or read books on the trip. I just do not like to do that. And when I'm on a train or a car, I'm just going to enjoy the music, or talking with people, or just looking at the scenery, at the landscapes. That's just great. And I don't like to watch movies during that kind of journey, So that's not such a big deal for me in terms of convenience when you are going to somewhere and you want to watch the movies anywhere. And even if you're streaming and then you're going to anywhere, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to do that. It depends heavily on the internet access, on the Wi-Fi, and those things, and the capacity of your equipment and all. That's also not really great. That's why I do not really like to watch movies on a journey, and I prefer to just enjoy the journey for the sake of the journey, not to watch movies. I'm not that kind of person. Also with books, people complain about books and space, and how you can't enjoy books when you're on the trip or on the road or anything. I do not like to read books in a crowd, like for example waiting on an airport, or on a train station, or somewhere waiting for someone. I do not really like to read books, also because of I can't focus, when I am put at that kind of situation. So I prefer just read news articles from the smartphone. That doesn't really require your full attention when you read news articles, or YouTube videos, not movies, or maybe just like a podcast, or basically news, and then reviews about car reviews, or even movie reviews, but not that exact movies. I mean, that's just me, and that's why I do not consider the part of convenient in terms of space and availability when you are having a trip really affect me. I don't think those things really affect me. So that's all, basically the reasons why, even in this day and age, I still purchase movies, and I still collect those movies, even video CDs. I don't really care about format anymore. What I care is the movie, is the access to the film, Even it's on video CD, as long as the movie is there, it's consistent, the quality is consistent, and possibly it's a rare movie and it's going to be very difficult to find on DVD. Well, I'm feeling that's okay for me. It's not such a big deal. So it's not like I'm with this my collecting soul. It wasn't that. It's my archiving soul that's coming out. As long as you got it, you got it. It doesn't matter whether it's be on VHS or on DVD or on Blu-ray or anything. As long as the movie is there, you get access to the movie. The movie is yours, and nobody can take that away from you. No studios can alter the movie, can change the ending or change anything. Then I can feel secure about that. That's the reason, basically, about my collecting activity, my archiving activity. So I prefer to call myself a DVD archivist instead of a DVD collector. But that doesn't really matter now, of course. You can call me a DVD collector or DVD archivist. I often just call myself a collector also. That doesn't really matter. Just like I just want to share the reason why I still do this, and the more practical reason behind me collecting movies is that. So that's more practical, I think, building an archive. There's a practical purpose in that, and because I really need the movies. I'm reviewing movies. I really like need that there, and sort of a decoration, not a decoration. I mean, it's easier for me when I want to write something about the movies. For example, I want to write something about the top 100 greatest movies of all time. That's going to be very easier for me to just stand before my shelf and then lug around, try to find which movie is great. Oh, there's Gone with the Wind. I spotted Gone with the Wind. That's one of the greatest movies of all time. That's going to be very easy for me to make that list, to make that article. So it's basically very important. The movies are very important for me, and I think that's all. I've talked for hours. That's very, very long time, and I am very grateful to have this this opportunity, to have this community, to have this platform that I can share these, and I have wonderful, wonderful viewers and subscribers who really support us, each other, one another. That's very, very great. That's very amazing. I also love watching other people showing their collection. That's very, very great for me. And sometimes when they're long conversations and all, I do not watch the videos for the sake of the information in the video, but for the sake of, I don't know, just for a background noise or anything. I enjoy people discussing about movies, discussing about the DVD collection, about Blu-ray collection, about those stuff, about DVD versus streaming and Blu-ray versus 4K Blu-ray. I just really enjoy that. And just people, basically just collectors showing off their collection. I am intrigued by that kind of videos also, because that's also the time that I could browse, information about my own collection. Is that the same with mine? Is it different? What's the difference between that and mine? So that's very, very, to me, that's very interesting. I think that is all. I can't say anything more than this. This is not scripted, so I just happen to want to talk about this. So I have no script in me. I have no plans what I want to talk in this entire session. So it turns out to be a very, very long session. I'm sorry about that. But then again, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for support. And goodbye.